තෙරුවන් සරණයි. How are you all? Nice Sunday evening, right? Afternoon. When we spend our life, normal day-to-day life, business as usual, we tend to do a lot of things. We might have to do our office work, job-related stuff, education, learning, teaching, cooking, washing, a lot of things. Okay, let's take the example of, let's say, baking a cake. Okay, we take all the ingredients closer to us. Can't even remember now. The flour, baking powder, sugar, and you know the rest, right? So you take all that and try to make the dough and keep it aside for some time, and now it's time for baking. Now you set the temperature, set the timer, and put the dough in the oven. What could go wrong, right? You come back, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? Let's say 20 minutes. You come back after 20 minutes and you find, what do you find? A nice, you have an expectation, right? So, what can go wrong? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? You find a black. When I say black, you know, all your expectations have gone down the drain, right? Can you bake a cake with the mindset of nothing to lose? I'm not talking about writing an exam. Simple task of baking a cake. Can we all bake a cake with the nothing to lose mindset? Is it possible? I see a lot of shakes. It's a simple task, right? Okay, if now it's totally burnt out, now you can't use it. What's to lose? I mean, just throw it away and bake a new one, or just eat something you have. But still, you have a huge expectation of a set result, don't we? Expectation of a set result. This is what I'm going to have. Can you accept anything below that? No. Okay. We go and wash our clothes. Yeah? Whites, you should never put whites with the color ones, because I can remember myself. Once I washed, put the whites with Can't remember. Maybe a cap. Can't remember. Some sort of a piece of clothing which is slightly red. You know what happened, right? I got a very nice reddish white or pink t-shirt. Can you accept that? These are simple day-to-day chores. You come to the bus stop and you see the bus coming and you are few feet away and you think that the bus is going to stop for you, and just as you come to the bus stop and you expect the bus to stop, and what does the bus do? It just carry on. Can we accept that? Of course, we have practiced the path. Therefore, we can accept it. Think about these small things. What would nature do? I've told this to some of you maybe. So back in the day, the land adjacent to the Dhamma hall, where the new Dhamma hall is being built, there were some trees. Yeah, not a huge forest, but some vegetation. So in order to build the building, what did we do? We cleared the land, we flattened the plot. Now it's like that. Now think you are nature. Now there were nice green area with some trees. And right now, you don't have any trees there because we are going to build a building there. Now, how would nature complain about it? What would it say? What would it say? Complain? Go and protest? Give my trees back? No, right? No protest, no complaints. But the important thing we have to know about nature is that, will it stop? So when we say you just have to accept what happens, people feel that it is very negative, very it is very demoralizing. That is how people feel about this. You just have to accept and say, okay, I'm not going to do anything, let anything happen. Very demotivational. That is what people feel about when we say that Nibbana is about acceptance. When we say Nibbana is about acceptance, most of them feel is very demotivating, very negative. But think about nature. Doesn't nature accept anything? If you clear the whole forest, would it accept? Of course it would. Okay. But would it stop there? Okay, you cleared the land and nature got angry about it and it decided, I'm not going to grow any plant on this plot. Will it do that? No. It will start from small sprouts, some grass, some small vines. It was a huge forest there. But it will start from small sprouts, small vines, small grass plants. And it will continue. You could remember one of the quotes I learned from this 18 minus this. Start from where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Isn't that the attitude that nature has? Isn't that the attitude the nature has? It will start growing. It doesn't have that huge trees to begin with. Will it complain? Now, how am I going to grow these plants? Grow these huge trees? I don't even have a seed now. The whole ground is barren. Now I can't grow in this. Nothing will grow here. Would it complain? No. It can't grow huge trees, of course. But start from where you are. Use what you have. Use whatever the land you have and whatever the seeds you have. And do what you can. That is the attitude of nature. It will never stop. It will continue forward. But would it have the expectation of growing a huge forest? No. But does that mean that it will not do anything? No. People feel this expectation and this motivation to do things are one and the same. Either you expect, without expectation you cannot do anything. That is what people feel. People feel when you don't have expectation, you'll be a very boring person. You will not be motivated to do anything. That is what people feel. But is that how nature works? No. It will do whatever possible. Use what it has and do what it can. It's not about, it doesn't dream about a forest, just grow small sprouts. In a month's time, you'll find, especially in a place like Sri Lanka, vines all over the place, right? In 6 months, some small vegetation going on. You can see the most of the place is green now. In a year, you feel, it's a small bushes are there. Likewise, in 5 years, you can barely go through that land. 10, 20 years, it's a kind of a forest now. And in 30, 40 years time, huge trees will be there. And it will be a fully grown forest. But did nature have expectation to grow the forest back? No. Did it complain about destroying the forest? But did it stop? We just have to understand the attitude of nature. It always does what it can right now. Because these things add up. Because there's this compound effect. You will start to see results in due course. But because of ignorance and attachment, we have this 1 or 0 attitude. Either we have it, if we have everything, we can do something. But if we don't have those, we can't do anything. It's 1 or 0. That is because of the separation. Mind is based on this feeling of separation, feeling of fixedness. Therefore, the mind always try to demand things. If I am to do this, I want this, 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 and this. Otherwise, I can't do it. Yeah? if you don't meet my demands, I am not going to do it. I can't do it. How can you do it without this? But really? You might not be able to grow a huge forest overnight, of course. But you can start where you are, use what you have and do what you can, which will lead to a forest, a huge forest. How did Amazon, the great forest, come into being? The same way. Some time ago, I don't know how long ago, but some time ago, it should have been a barren land. But slowly but surely, it became the great forest of Amazon. Always look at nature. One of these days, I went to one of my teachers. So I asked some questions. How can I know what to do at this situation? How can I know what decision to take? He smiled at me and simply looked ahead, waited for a few seconds and told me, make nature your teacher. Because nature always takes the right decision. And also, closer to nature you are, closer you get to nature, better you will be able to understand nature or read nature. What's its plan? When I say nature, yes, I take examples of trees and all that, but you know that I'm not talking about just trees and forests and animals and that nature. When I say nature, what I mean is universe. The whole thing. Isn't this Dhamma whole nature? It is. So in that sense, when I say nature, I'm talking about the cause and effect nature. And I take examples from trees because those also adhere to the principle of cause and effect. Just one example. So he looked at nature, and he looked again, looked at me. What did he look at again? Again, nature. But the problem was, I didn't feel like nature. That is why I had that question. What should I do? Closer you get to nature, easier for you to understand or read nature. So he said, there's one person who came so close to nature, he became the student of nature. Therefore, nature gave the ability for him to read the nature truly, read the book of nature, read nature transparently. Who's that student of nature? Sir? Bodhisattva. He became the student of nature when he became the Lord Buddha. He got this special piece of wisdom called Anavarna Jnana or Sarvajñata Jnana. The ability to read nature transparently. Of course, we don't have that, but we don't have to read nature into that caliber. We just need to know its principle, how nature works, how universe works. So, coming back to the cake, is there anything to lose? Everything we do, anything we do, don't we have something to lose? When we bake a cake, when we write an exam, when we go to get the bus, don't we have something to lose? When there is ignorance and attachment, there is preference. When there is a preference, there is something to lose. Don't you like a life where you don't have anything to lose? Don't you like a life where you are happy to experience anything and enjoy any state? Don't you like to enjoy any state of cake? Why do you just enjoy that when your cake is spongy and I don't know, whichever the way you like? Why can't you just enjoy when it get roasted? Try to enjoy life. When we have preferences in our life, let's say 24 hours of our normal day, how much of that life can we really enjoy? Okay, when we taste something that we like and it matches what we like, of course, that moment we can enjoy, of course. And when we see something that we like, we can enjoy. And when we experience a smell or sound that we like, only when we experience something we like, we enjoy. Let's take the proportion. There are 86,000 seconds, is it? For 24 hours? As I remember, 86,400. Don't quote me. I might be wrong. So, that many seconds you have for a day. How many seconds do you enjoy out of it? How many seconds? Few seconds when you taste the things you like. Few seconds when you look at something you like. Few seconds when you listen to your favorite song. What about the rest of it? Do you enjoy? We say we like to enjoy our life. Yes, we should enjoy all 86,400 seconds of it. Are we ready to do that? Or just few hundred seconds per day? Leaving more than 86,000 seconds. Just trying to enjoy. Isn't it just waste of happiness? Every second is there for us to enjoy. Isn't it waste of happiness? Waste of enjoyment? How can we enjoy the whole life? The only way to enjoy life is to understand life, understand nature, understand the reality. Because we don't understand the reality, we don't understand the nature of nature, only that we cannot enjoy every second of the way. That is why our lives are not blissful. I'm not saying that your lives are not blissful, but is it blissful up to the level of 86,400 seconds? We are wasting our valuable seconds of enjoyment. We are missing out. Let's enjoy our life to the fullest. People say, people go on trips, people go on holidays, people throw parties because they want to enjoy their lives to the fullest. Are we really ready to enjoy our lives to the fullest? Are we really ready? That's my question. The question I asked maybe yesterday. Are you ready to enjoy a headache? Are you ready to enjoy a stomachache? Come on, Swaminathan. Can't enjoy a headache? Why can't you? I was asking yesterday, can you enjoy the feeling of sleepiness while being sleepy and you can't go anywhere, you have to sit in these chairs? Can you enjoy that? That's one of the worst feelings, right? Oh, I'm sleepy and I can't get out, I have to sit there. Can you enjoy that? You're wasting seconds of enjoyment. Every mind is blissful unless it expects something else. Think about the sleepy mind. Okay. What does the sleepy mind want? The bed. I want to sleep, which is in the future. I want that. I want that. Not this. I want that. Expectation. That is better than this. So I can't accept this. I want that. I want that comfortable sleepingness, whatever. Not this. Stuck here in a sermon where I can't go out. No, this is not what I want. I want that. Are you enjoying your valuable seconds? The trap that the mind is that it feels there is a better solution. There's a better way. There's an ideal way for things to happen. This is how it should happen. When you have set ways for things to happen, you have something to lose. You have something to miss. You have something to gain. Therefore, cannot accept. You cannot accept where you are. Therefore, you cannot use what you have. And you cannot do what you can. Because there is something missing in the current moment. Therefore, I'm not satisfied with it. Therefore, I can't use what I have. I don't see what I have right now because there's something to gain. There's something missing here. I have to fill this moment. Therefore, what I have, I am blind to it. I'm searching for something I don't have right now. I have a burnt cake. I'm searching for a very tasty, nice smelling, spongy cake. Therefore, I can't use what I have. And I can't do what I can. Okay, can't you just take the roasted cake and I don't know, what can you do with it? Maybe make some roasted, I don't know, my mother used to take this crusts of a bread. Can't you do something with that roasted cake? I don't know, I'm very bad at cookery, so it's up to you. Anyway, think about this. When you have an expectation, when you want something else, when you have an expectation of something else, you cannot enjoy the present moment. You cannot. When I say you, I'm not just saying you. I'm just talking about minds in general. I just either have to say they, or you, or us. Anything, any word I use, what I mean is just minds, right? So don't be offended on anything. So don't think, no, Swaminas, I don't get frustrated about burning a cake. I mean, who do you think I am? Of course not. I'm just talking about minds in general, right? Okay, so when we have this expectation of something better, something that is better than this moment, the mind is always in future. So there's something empty here. There's a void here right now. So I have to fill this. Therefore, we cannot start from where we are and use what is available, because I am focusing on what is missing, not what is available. It's like the glass half empty. I'm focusing on the empty part. So I can't see that the glass is half full. So I can't use that half to use what we have. And whatever we can do with it, I can't do it because I see that the glass is half empty. So I can't enjoy the moment. I can't enjoy this happy, sleepy feeling. It doesn't rhyme, right? Happy, sleepy feeling. I was just kidding. Anyway, any scenario, if you are searching for something else, that means you are not at rest. If you are not at rest, you are not in bliss. You are not in happiness. Do you like to search for things all day long? Do you like to do that? Do you like to search? Okay, you have lost your key. Do you like to keep on searching for that key all day long? No. But what about searching for happiness? How many seconds do we spend searching for happiness and enjoying happiness? What is the ratio? Few hundred seconds to 86,000? So are we enjoying our life? Even if we are in a party or whatever, in a movie, are we enjoying every second of it? No. What about, if we are not enjoying every second of the movie, we don't have to talk about the seconds leading to going to the cinema, getting ready, buying tickets. All those seconds are just utter waste. Searching for something. Therefore, you cannot enjoy that moment. So how can we enjoy the moment? How can we stop the search? I just ask you to stop it. Can you? Can you stop it? This is the beauty of this Dhamma. This is the beauty of this teaching. It doesn't just tell you to do something. This is the theory of cause and effect. Therefore, it's perfectly laid out what to do, what to think, and how to do it. That's the beauty of this. It's not something abstract. Although these things might be a bit deep, this teaching can get deep if you want, and it can be very, very familiar if you want. Because it is talking about nature. Simply nature. So, okay. How can we just enjoy every moment? In order to do that, we have to understand, why does mind want something else? Why does mind expect something else than what it has right now? Why? Because it feels this is better than this. What I experience right now, and what I want is better than what I have. So this disparity, this difference is what make you feel this void. You feel, compared to this level you have a void. Now you just try to fill this by going to this level. This disparity, this difference, why do we feel this difference? Let's say, now you have, you go to a restaurant and going to have some food. Okay, no, you cook at home today, and you just have plain old red rice. I shouldn't insult red rice because there are people who likes it. But I have to take an example, because if you take any example, there would be people who likes it and who doesn't like it. Therefore, I can't take any example. So I'll just say the majority. Can't say majority even. So anyway, so there are people who likes to eat a cake. But what he has is just, let's say, rice. There is this difference between these two. While eating rice, what mind wants is cake or pizza, whatever. So now it cannot enjoy this. The main reason that mind feels these two things are two things, because first of all, the mind feels that these are two things to start with. Before it feels that these are, one is better than the other, there should be two of them, right? How can you compare without feeling that there are two of them? how does it feel that there's these two? So it is obvious. It is. The pizza and rice are two different things. The classic example. Two different things. Okay. Let's say rice. Let's say this is one grain of rice. One pellet of rice. One. Alright? Now I take a small piece of maybe bread. One loaf of bread. Right? Now, let's say these are carbohydrate. These are molecules of carbohydrate. Now, if I take this one, and swap it with this one, can you see at the back? Ignore the scale because grain of rice versus loaf of bread, it doesn't look like this. But I just wanted to draw a concept. So let's say this one here is one molecule of carbohydrate, and this one here is one molecule of carbohydrate. If we swap these two, what would be the difference? No difference. Take these two and swap them. It is the same. So similarly, if we swap every molecule with each other, let's say they have equal amount of molecules. If we swap them all, can you find the bread carbohydrates and rice carbohydrates? Can you find which one is which? It's like when you do blood transfusions, right? Okay, you donate your blood, and maybe one of your family members get your blood during an operation or something. So when you donate your blood, and when it is transfused, let's say to your auntie, when the blood is transfused, is it labeled? These are my blood. When you give your blood to your, let's say, aunt, does she become you? Why doesn't she? Because the blood become hers. Is it? Is it because the blood becomes hers? Yes? Blood is blood. It is not your blood or her blood. It is blood is blood. It wasn't yours in the first place to become hers or to stay yours. Blood is blood. Carbohydrates are just carbohydrates. Are these labeled? Is your blood labeled? Are your skin cells labeled? Are your hair labeled? So we were in the argument of bread versus not bread. Oh, I got sidetracked. So let's say cake or pizza. Okay, pizza and bread are one and the same, right? I mean, those who make pizza knows that pizza and bread are just one and the same. So, let's say bread versus rice. Which is better? Which is better? Okay, let's say carbohydrates versus carbohydrates. Which is better? I know. Carbohydrates are better. Which one? That's the thing. The question of better, you can ask this question of being better only when you feel there are two different things. But if this is just okay. Now, which is which? Actually, the reality is like this. It's just a collection of causes. This is just a collection of causes. This is just a I can't even, can you even say this? Which one am I talking about? This? Let's remove all the blue ones. Which is which? So, what I was going to say, this is just a collection of causes and this is just a collection of causes. But what am I pointing at? The whole thing is just a collection of causes. It is our ignorant mind that feels this is not that. We feel this is a flower and flower is not a leaf, leaf is not a flower. But internally, it is just the same. It is a different arrangement of the same thing. A flower or bread and rice are different arrangement of the same causes. But we feel this is rice and bread is bread. Therefore, rice is not bread, bread is not rice. When the bread is not rice, rice is not bread, there's a better one. Either bread is better or rice is better, because rice is not bread, bread is not rice. Now, when we have rice, what would happen? Can we enjoy rice? No, because there's a void there. Because the bread is better. Roasted cake? No. Well-baked cake is better than roasted cake. Therefore, we cannot enjoy the roasted cake. What did the roasted cake do to you? Did it take a revenge? Did it do you any harm? No. We just have a view. This is not that. That is not this. Therefore, we have this disparity. We have this difference. We cannot enjoy both of it. This is just a mental perception. Actually, if you look at this, I mean, if you take chemically, what is the difference between these two? But we feel a difference, right? That is because of the ignorance. The ignorance in the mind, the fundamental view of the mind is that world is a separate thing. The separation is possible. Therefore, individual things are separate to each other. Then we can compare and contrast. When we compare and contrast, there's a better one and a worst one. Right? So, therefore, we cannot enjoy either of it actually. Even when we enjoy the best cake in the world, can you really enjoy? What if I lose this? What if I don't get the next part, next piece? What if is the next piece doesn't taste the same as this one? What if I can't come back to this restaurant? There are millions of what ifs. Even while enjoying it. Don't you have a hope that no one would disturb you while you enjoy your favorite piece of cake? Favorite piece of teledrama? Favorite episode of teledrama? Your favorite movie? When you enjoy it? Don't you... I mean, I can remember back in the day when I watched this Formula 1. It was at 5:30 p.m. Sri Lankan time on Sundays. So I booked that time. That's my time. No one's going to disturb me. I made plans so that all my work, I finish it before 5:30. That's Formula 1 time. Come on. I shouldn't be disturbed at that time. What if the electricity go away? What if the satellite, signal goes away? What if the doorbell ring? What if the boss calls? Was I enjoying it? That is torture. Can't say that's enjoyment. Where there is expectation, there is zero enjoyment. You cannot enjoy if you have an expectation. It is like opposite sides of the coin. You can't have one when you have the other. I thought I was enjoying my life. I thought I had everything. You name it, I have it. Of course. That is what I thought. But little I didn't know that I was just trying to keep my boat afloat. I was trying very hard to be happy. But the problem is, in my search of happiness, in my struggle to be happy, I've lost my happiness. That is why I couldn't enjoy the power cut. That is why I couldn't enjoy the bell ring. That is why I couldn't enjoy the phone call. That is why I couldn't enjoy the satellite problems. Don't you like to enjoy every moment? All 86,400 of them? You just have to understand, the world is not separable. It is just causes aligning together. More you understand, the world is just a pool of same causes. This separation goes out of the window. Because the mind understands the world is inseparable. It is one and the same. If it is one and the same, what is the difference between these two? Not these two, you don't feel that these two. It's just the one and the same. You'll see the universe as the same thing. You will become whole universe because there is no separation. The whole you will become universe. You will become universal. You will become global. Then you can enjoy the whole universe, every moment of the way. One of these days, when your last days come, how are we planning to spend the last days of our lives? How would we enjoy the last day of my life? How should I? So Mina said, don't talk about death. Come on. Those things we just try to forget. How do you want? Okay, you enjoy the last day of your holiday, right? You enjoy, I don't know, you enjoy everything. The last day, the first day, you plan to spend. Okay, now it's December, right? How are you planning to have the last day, the 31st night? What's your plan? Similarly, can't we just plan last days of our life? To have a good plan and to enjoy it? Enjoy the last day of your life? Isn't that a dream that we should see? To enjoy every moment of the way until your last breath and pass away quite happily, like Lord Buddha did, like all those great arahants who came to Lord Buddha and got permission from him, met the teacher for the last time and worshipped and told the story how he became like this, and maybe showed his old power, all the powers he has to the world, and happily passed away. He enjoyed the last moment even. Isn't that a dream that we should all have? To enjoy until the last moment? In order to enjoy, there shouldn't be anything that we will miss when we die. If there's anything that we miss, anything that is special that you want to experience, you cannot enjoy any moment, let alone the last moment. This teaching is quite simple, but it is quite profound that it solves all the problems. That is the thing. I mean, I don't have a lot of things to say. I just have the same thing to say because this is how you solve all the problems in your life. Exam problems? Do you all have exam problems? I heard the exams are coming up because it's end of the year. So, there are exam problems. What if I can't study? What if I get low marks? Do you have end of the year bonus? Or what about the promotion cycles? can remember back in the day. I mean, when it comes to promotion cycles or performance appraisals coming, oh, that's are there expectation which should be the result of that, like the cake? How should the cake be? How should the cake be? Brown? Black? Roasted? Fried? It's one and the same. It's just the same causes. It is a different arrangement of the same causes. Whether it's roasted, whether it's fried, it's the same thing. It might be difficult to understand at first, but we just have to take this small idea and take it to our life, the lab of life, as Nayaka Amadasana Thero says. We have to take it to lab of life and experience our life with the Dhamma, with the truth. Otherwise, there is this Dhamma that is said from the stage, and we talk in our doctrine discussions, and in our normal life, that is normal life. This is Dhamma. Dhamma and normal life. Normal life is not Dhamma. I mean, you can't. I mean, why do you try to solve all the problems with Dhamma? I mean, these are practical things. Come on, practical things you have to solve practically. Dhamma is one thing. Right? Yes? That is where we all go wrong. Dhamma, or the truth of the world, is what is happening during our practical life also. We just have to, the problem is that we don't understand that. We feel that normal life is normal life. And this teaching is something different. What we have to do is, we have to understand our normal life is what is explained through this Dhamma, through this truth. You have to take this message. You have to take this truth of the world and apply it to your normal life. And cleanse your normal life with the Dhamma, with the truth. When I say cleanse, it's to understand it. While we are experiencing this existence, while we are experiencing, I mean, we have our loved ones, we have our jobs, we have our children, assets, cars, houses, trips, all those. The normal life we have, we just have to understand it through the lens of the truth. We have to analyze it. That within this experience of existence, experience of life, experience of people, loved ones, jobs, assets, everything, what is there is the theory of cause and effect. Everything we do is just an arrangement of causes. Everything we experience is just an arrangement of causes. Every moment of the way is just a collection of causes. We have to see our normal life through the lens of the truth. Otherwise, no matter how many sermons we listen to, we will feel that is a great sermon. A lot of theory, a lot of philosophy is there. It is very philosophical. Yes, yes, of course. But it will not change your life. You'll enjoy the sermon and, yeah, that was a great sermon. Shall we have a pizza for dinner? You wouldn't understand that the rice and the pizza is the same. Because you have to see your normal life through the lens of the truth that we talk here. Otherwise, these two are different things. Dhamma is Dhamma, life is life. Don't mix these two up. No, you just have to understand your life is the Dhamma. Dhamma is taught to understand your life, not just to record it and put it in a hard drive or on YouTube. It is to understand your life and change your life. Sunata dhareta charata dhamme. You have to listen, to understand, comprehend and apply it. If we apply it only, our lives will change. Our perception of life would change. What we experience right now is also a result of causes. The life right now, what you experience right now, is just an arrangement of causes, right? The sights you experience, isn't that an effect of causes? A few weeks back we talked about that. How lights and eye and nervous system all together gives rise to the perception right now. When those causes are not there, does the perception manifest? No. That is why when you close your eyes, you can't see. Obviously, when I close my eyes, I can't see, obviously. Yes, but don't you feel that the world exists? The colorful world exists even when you close your eyes? That means you don't accept the theory of cause and effect at that time. When the causes are not there, even the perceived world exists. So we have to apply this cause and effect principle to our normal life. What we experience right now. What we experience right now is an effect as well. This experience, hearing, seeing, touching, that experience you have right now, this is also an effect of causes of eye and light, eardrum and vibrations, and all those causes. When those causes come together, this is what manifests. This is the effect that manifests. You just have to understand that we are just talking about our own life. We are talking about what we experience right now. When we understand that, all this tomfoolery about preferences. Should I wear this or that? And this one looks better than this. I'm not telling you to wear the same thing every day. No, I mean, you cannot have a preference. You cannot have something to lose. If you have something to lose, you have a problem. What we teach, the theory of cause and effect, is our life. The experience right now is an effect of causes. It's just a collection of causes. Without the causes, Does it manifest? Can you remember this? The famous green eraser? When the causes align, green manifest. When the causes doesn't align, green is hidden. Is it? Is the green hidden? No, green does not manifest. It is not hidden anywhere. It does not manifest. We just have to apply it to our life, and we have to see our life through the lens of this. This is easier said than done, of course. You need to put some effort to it, to practice this. That is where the first part comes in. Okay, so it is easier for you to say you are wearing a robe and staying in a monastery. How can we do that? Start from where you are. And use what you have and do what you can. Isn't that the most positive thing you have ever heard? Can you add negativity to it? If you have this mindset of start from where you are, use what you have and do what you can attitude, can you add negativity to it? No, this is the ultimately positive thing, because any moment in time, there's something you have and you can use that to do what you can at that time. So, when it comes to applying this Dhamma, be nature. Do how nature does. Yes, we cannot do as Guru Hamdru does. Swaminathan, like Guru Hamdru, I want to practice like Guru Hamdru. Okay, yes. But how did he come there? By doing all the small things. He used every moment. Can't you just... Okay, you might have all the daily chores, all the things to do for your children, your parents, your jobs, and whatnot. You will have all those things. Okay, aren't they all cause and effect? Isn't your child just cause and effect? Isn't your child just a collection of causes? Isn't your husband a collection of causes? Isn't he just flesh, blood, and bones? Isn't it the same that your body and his body and the child's body and all that is just a collection of causes, collection of blood, flesh, and bones? Isn't it the same thing? Apply to small places where you can find. Whenever you get reminded, just apply to it. Because the Rome wasn't built overnight. What if nature wanted to grow a huge forest overnight? Would it happen? No, it wouldn't happen. But wasn't it able to grow a forest at the end? It was. How did that happen? Because it was nature. It did what it can do at that time. Often we were asked, so how can we practice this? Yes, it is good to have aims to come to the sasana and do our maximum. Of course, that should be our goal. But that is the perfect moment. But if we wait for the perfect moment, okay, let's say we have this barren land. Nature is waiting for the perfect moment to grow. To grow a forest, the nature is waiting for the perfect moment. When would it be able to grow a big forest? The perfect moment? No, it is not possible to do like that. You have to start from where you are right now, and use what you have. You all are very fortunate people, right? You have the Dhamma, you have the noble companionship, people around you who wants to practice this path and talk about Dhamma, and who brings you here. Even if you are listening to this online, you have found this. Out of 8 billion people, you have found this Dhamma and you are listening to it. You feel that you want to listen to this. Therefore, you have the great fortune of coming across this Dhamma. And you have the ability of thinking straight. You have the ability of contemplating it. We all might not be Guru Hamaduru, of course. But if Guru Hamaduru is a forest, did it grow overnight? No. Therefore, whatever the fortune we have right now, whatever the things we have right now, we have to capitalize on what we have. We have to capitalize on what is available and move an inch forward. Practice 5 minutes a day. Yesterday, last week, did we talk about that? Practicing 5 minutes or 10 minutes? No? Okay. I didn't say that. Sorry for that. So, take a day and start from 5 minutes a day. Put 5 minutes. Put 10 minutes. And try and practice that. And this 10 minutes, 5 minutes grow to 10 minutes, to 15, to half an hour, to 1 hour. And if you keep moving forward, 1 hour becomes 2, 3. End of the day, you will be 86,400 seconds of total bliss. How did Usain Bolt win the gold medal? How did he do that? Why? Did he just one day thought, yes, I want to win the gold medal, and he went to the race and he won it? Is that how it happened? No. This needs a lot of commitment, dedication, and actually what you need is, first of all, what you need is that you have to want to get yourself out of this great mess that we call life. That we struggle every day. The struggle that we go through, that even doesn't let us bake a cake without suffering. Come on, let's have the ability to bake a cake without suffering. Isn't that something? To bake a cake without suffering. This life and so-called samsara is not a place to enjoy. Because when you feel this existence, when you feel this separation, this struggle is always there. This fight is always there. As long as you have this search, you cannot be free. Therefore, as fortunate people, as fortunate people, we will all try and apply this to our life. Last week we talked about these small merits, right? Because this is a practical thing. This is not something that you do one-off. You go to a meditation retreat and go there for 5 days and you meditate for all 5 days and I'm done. No, it is not something like that. This is a lifelong thing that you have to do it continuously. It is not a big thing that you should do. You just have to understand. Because this is the thing. Every moment in life, there are minds, right? Mind. Is it like no mind, rest, and mind? Is it like that? No, every moment there's a mind. Every moment there's a mind. Every mind is either in ignorance or wisdom. Either the mind understands this cause and effect principle or it doesn't. So the problem is, whenever we don't practice the path, we practice ignorance. That is the problem. That is why this is a lifelong thing. Not lifelong thing. This is a practical life thing. Whenever we don't have this wisdom, we have ignorance. So you can't say that I have practiced for, 1 hour and I need a break. You can't say so. Because this is about understanding life. You can't just stop and be in ignorance. That is not how it works. We just have to keep on realizing how life works. That is something we have to do very practically. Keep on understanding how life works. This is theory. This is quite simple. It's just causes coming together. Yes, you should be extremely fortunate in order to listen to this, because this is the only teaching that you have never heard. I can guarantee that you haven't heard this Dhamma in your millions of lifetimes that you have passed. Why can I be so certain? Because you are here. If you have understood this before, you shouldn't be here. You have a unique mind, right? You have a unique body. You are separate to the other person because you believe in separation. You believe that the separation is true. Separation is real. And you put all your bets towards separation. Co-separation. You side with separation. That is why you got a body, you got a life. When you understand the cause and effect, you will understand the whole thing is just the same. When you totally realize that the whole thing is the same, would you want anything separate? Would you need separation? No. When you understand the whole thing is the same, you'll become universal. You'll become the universe itself. So when you become universe itself, can you have one set of elements and one set of atoms and say that this is me? Can you be born again as a separate body? It is impossible to do so because you are the universe. Can you take some atoms and say that this is me? No, when you become universe, you are universal. That is why you cannot be born again. You cannot separate apart from universe and tell that that is me. And by living a life, what do you prove? That you are not universal. I'm just this. I'm just this collection of carbon. I'm just this collection of atoms. I'm not universal. I'm just this. The other thing, this is me and this is not me. This is not me. This is me. These two things are separate. But ideally, it's just atoms. Atoms. What is the difference? It is just a collection of atoms. This is an arrangement of atoms. This is just an arrangement of atoms. But the feeling of separation, feeling of this is not that-ness, this is not that-ness, is what will give you another life, another body, another identity. This false identity is given to you because you trust that this is not me. If someone just accidentally listen to this part and he will say, this monk sounds very crazy. To a mundane mind, this sort of truth is just crazy, yes, of course, but the problem is, no matter how ignorant we are, the truth of the world doesn't change. Okay, we can all choose to stay ignorant. That is all right. But the truth of the world, would it change? Would it be different? No, the truth of the world, truth of the universe, nature of nature remain the same. Therefore, whatever we want, we can think. But because of the nature of nature remains the same, if we are in wrong view, we just have to struggle and fight a losing battle. Because nature doesn't fight back. We keep on fighting every second of the way. Okay, let's say there's a war and we are afraid that the enemy is going to attack us, and we are searching for this enemy the whole place, and actually enemy is just in the plain sight and it is not attacking. Can you win a war against an enemy that stays in plain sight and don't attack you? Can you win a war against him? No, it is impossible. That is why we cannot win this war. That is why you have to understand this enemy. When you understand this enemy, you will understand you are just him. There's no two parties to have a war. We are just one and the same. And the war is already won. Because there's no enemy now. This is the beauty of this. You just have to understand that there's nothing to search for. There's nothing to look for. There's nothing to go out there and find. You just have to understand. The truth is the truth. The causes coming together is what is there. That is all what is there. And you just have to accept it. Whether your cake is roasted or baked well. That is how the causes align. That is how everything is aligned already. But no matter how much I say this, the baked cake, that's very delicious, right? This is better than this. Which one do you prefer? Okay, if I give you a free vacation, free trip to any destination you want, which destination do you like to choose? Can you remember that we talked? When you go to Hawaii, Paris, London, New York, Moscow, I don't know, Nairobi? What can you see there? Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. Nairobi, red, green, blue. Sao Paulo, red, green, blue. Paris, right? Sadly, I don't know the French names for red, green, and blue, but those three. Just understand, this is just this same thing that we feel separate. We feel that this is not that. We feel the existence of different things. But in reality, it is just a collection of the same thing. If it is a collection of the same thing, what do you prefer? Which one do you prefer? Because it is the same thing. So this Swaminathan is just blabbering about being the same thing and same thing and same thing and saying the same thing over and over again. What should I say? I mean, if it is the same thing, should I say that this is better than the other? I don't have enough words to express the feeling I have. I try to get this and put it into words and give it to you. I feel no. That haven't done the justice. Okay, I will try again and put it to words, and I have told the same thing. Okay, these words, I have told the same thing. No, we'll keep on trying. We'll take different examples and everything. But what we have to understand is we have to understand the reality of nature. Actually, when I say nature, reality of your life. When you cook, understand that you are not making a special meal today. It's just the same ingredients. Okay, when you make a dal curry. The other day you make, I don't know, what do you have? A chicken curry, okay. Dal curry and a chicken curry. One day you feel that I'm making a dal curry, and then the other day you making chicken curry or some other curry that you like. But just understand the experience that you have is just the same thing. The experience of making a dal curry, okay, that is yellow. The chicken curry is not yellow, it is red. Okay. But it is the same ingredients, right? Proteins, carbohydrates, salts, arrangement of that. What about this? It is the arrangement of the same thing. Okay. You might feel the yellow is yellow and red is red. The chicken is not yellow. Okay. Now, okay, let's say green color, the green color of the leaves. Leaves are green colored. So we feel that green color is a unique thing. Green pigment, the chlorophylls are unique. Okay, where did that green color come to the chlorophylls? When the tree grew, the green color was taken from soil, right? Was it trapped inside soil and took it? Or is it just floating around in the air and the leaf absorbed it? Is it? Or maybe the rain. Of course, rain might have brought the green color to it. Is it? How did that green color come there? Where did it come from? From soil? From air? From rain? Or is it just magically appear? Which one? None of above. When all those causes came together, the nutrients from ground and the water from soil, water from rain, and some sort of elements from air, when all those things came together, an effect manifested. That effect we call green. Where did it come from? No, it is just an arrangement of causes. That green color didn't come from anywhere. It's always a collection of causes. So is it unique then? If it is a collection of causes, is it unique? So how did yellow color come to dal? Okay, it is not dal actually, it's turmeric. Okay. Where did the yellow color come to the turmeric? Is it from soil? From rain? Where did it come from? It's again an arrangement of causes. It's a arrangement of many different causes. So is yellow unique and green unique? No, this is one arrangement, this is another arrangement. Okay, when I do this, is it this? Is it this? It is different. But is it just a different arrangement of the same thing? But if we take those as unique things, wouldn't we like one over the other? Because we know that this is an arrangement of the same thing, we don't have a preference of whether fingers should be like this or that or the other. We don't have preference because we know It's just the same thing. The fingers are arranged in the different arrangements. But when we believe that red is not blue, blue is not red, we have a preference. We feel one is better than the other because this is unique and that is unique. Then these two are unique things and one is better than the other. So that is what we have to understand. More we understand this cause and effect nature or causes coming together, we will understand that this is one and the same, and you don't have to do anything to achieve anything, because there's nothing special that you have to achieve. All are one and the same. And your roasted cake and baked cake are one and the same. There's nothing special to achieve. When you understand that everything is just a collection of causes, you understand there are nothing unique and there's no preference. When there's no preference, you can enjoy all the occurrences, all the arrangement of causes, because it is one and the same. That is how you enjoy all 86,400 of them. Even when I say that you have to enjoy, you cannot do anything special to enjoy every second of the way. You just have to understand this is just a collection of causes. When you understand this is a collection of causes, there's nothing more to be done. The problem is already solved. There's nothing more to solve per se. There's nothing more to gain. There's nothing to search for. There's nothing to acquire. There's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose in this world. So there's no fear. Tanhaya vipavuttassa natti soko kuto bhaya. When there's no attachment, natti soko. There's no grief. There's nothing to grieve over. Natti soko kuto bhaya. Which fear are you talking about? Kuto bhayang. Where is this fear that you are talking about? Because there's nothing to lose. If you don't have anything to lose, what do you fear about? You fear about losing something, right? If there's nothing to lose, if everything is the same, there's no fear. Think about a life without fear, without a modicum of fear. That is bliss. That is happiness. The problem is separation. When you experience separation, there's something to gain. If there's something to gain, there's something to lose. There's something to protect. There's something unique that is mine. Therefore, the bliss is gone. The constant search is there. Constant fight, struggle is there. Constant worry is there. Fear and grief will not leave you, no matter what you do, no matter how much money you earn, no matter how educated you are. the fear and grief will be your best friends. Because there's something to gain. There's something to achieve. There's something to grab onto. There's something to lose. Because this is not that. This should be achieved and this should be removed. The mind is not at rest. The mind is not at freedom. It is running behind this, trying to remove this. That fight will be there eternally as long as you don't believe in the nature of cause and effect. As long as you believe that you are a unique entity, as long as you believe this is not that, this I have to protect. The fear is there. What if something happened to this? What if something happened? What if I lose this? What if? What if? What if? What if? What if? The fear will be your best friend. Oh, I shouldn't have done that way. Only if I didn't do that like that, I would be happy. I would have achieved that. Only if I did this right. The grief will be there. Constant struggle between grief and fear will live on. Kamma vipaka vattati vipako kamma sambhava tasma punabbhava hoti evang loke pavattati. The world will live on. Effects or the results, vipaka leading to karma, and karma generating vipaka. The world will go on as long as the good friend separation is there. With the good friend separation comes two other friends. You cannot chase them away while keeping good friend separation. The fear and grief and all other suffering will be there. So, the decision is yours. Whether to understand cause and effect and chase away the good friend separation, or just make friends with separation and keep him and keep the bonus too of fear and grief. Or understand this and bake a cake blissfully. Okay. May the Noble Triple Gem be with you all.